Witch Trials, one of our nation's most heartbreaking events in history, occurred at the end of the 17th century near Salem, Massachusetts. The town of Salem was a Puritan community who followed a strong moral code and a strict set of rules governing their daily life.
The strict Puritan lifestyle followed a specific list of rules, creating a difference in equality between men and women. For example, during church services, men and women sat on different sides of the building. Puritan beliefs were just as strict as their lifestyle. They believed in both God and the devil, that the devil possessed the weakest of people to carry out his work. If you were suspected to be a Satan follower, people would label you as a witch. Puritans also believed God punished all sins by bringing sickness and disease. The trial started in January of 1692 after a group of young Puritan girls were caught fortune-telling and later imitated signs of demon possession. This caused mass hysteria in the town of Salem, which led to baseless accusations made against the poor.
On January 20th of 1692, a group of young Puritan girls, 9-year-old Elizabeth Parris, 11-year-old Abigail Williams, and 12-year-old Anne Putnam, were caught fortune-telling and practicing witchcraft with Tituba, a slave from Barbados. Elizabeth's father, Reverend Samuel Parris, caught the girls dropping an egg into a glass of water in an attempt to learn about their future husbands and social status. This, as well as Puritan beliefs, fostered an environment of paranoia that led to the conviction of the innocent. Soon after, the girls began to show symptoms of what many thought to be demon possession. These symptoms included throwing fits and claiming to be deaf, blind, and mute. The girls also awoke in the night, claiming to be tormented by evil spirits that bit, punched, kicked, and contoured their bodies. Under the pressure of the Reverend, the girls began to accuse Tituba and some of their other social outcast neighbors. The first arrest under the charge of witchcraft occurred on March 1st of 1692. There were countless tests that existed in order to prove whether a person accused was a witch or not. Here are a few examples.
Inspired tests. The ingredients of the cake were rye meal and urine from the girls said to be afflicted by the witch's evil spells. The test had dogs eat this cake, which would make the alleged witch scream out in pain. The cake was like a voodoo doll. Bound submersion. The accused were thrown in the water, and if the body floated to the surface, that was proof, along some kind of whimsical lines, that the accused was indeed a witch. If she sank to the bottom and eventually drowned, she was innocent. Witch's poke. The test was to be pricked with a needle, and if the recipient didn't bleed or feel it, then surely they were a witch. Oftentimes, however, needles would be purposely blunted, so it would be easier to demonstrate just how cold and unfeeling the witch really was.
On June 2nd, Bridget Bishop was found guilty and was hung 8 days later on what would become known as the Gallows Hill in Salem town. 5 more people were hanged that July, 5 in August, and 8 more in September. In addition, 7 other accused witches died in jail, and the elderly Giles Corey, Martha's husband, was pressed to death by stones after he refused to enter a plea at his arraignment. The last trials ended on May of 1693 after the deaths of about 20 people.
In 1957, Massachusetts officially apologized for the Salem Witch Trials and cleared the victims' names. In August of 1992, Salem commemorated the trials on the 300th anniversary with the Salem Memorial dedicated to the noble literate Ellie Weasley.